Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and our welcome guests, and particularly you, Annette. Now, Annette gave a speech called The Art of Evaluating. The objectives of her particular project in the manual was to produce a speech that was well organized, a speech that had clear, accurate, descriptive words, short sentences, where the speaker included rhetorical devices, avoided jargon, unnecessary words, and correct English. Annette, you did a great job. You showed great acumen and great giving. Really great speech. Not only was it a great speech, but it was great information for all of us. I particularly liked how you came out with a question, you caught everybody's attention. Then you moved into telling us how important evaluations are. They're important to us as evaluators. I've never heard it said that way. It's usually important to the speaker, but you presented it in a way that was motivational to each person in the room, at least in my opinion, to want to go out and be an evaluator, learn how to evaluate it properly. So I thought you did a really good job on that. You then took us on a journey of telling us the proper way to evaluate, how one can find small things to talk about a person's speech if they're not good, and things to talk about a person's speech if they are really good, and you have to find that one or two things to give them as suggestions for improvement. You did a great job. Annette, you've got a lot of talent, great eye contact, great vocal variety, body language is great. You have a way of connecting with the audience that I think is really remarkable. Every time I ever hear you speak, I always think, gee, Annette is so good. Wish I could be as good. You really have it down. I do have a couple of suggestions, and that is this. Avoid the pointing. Now, the reason why is that some people won't mind it, but there are others who will, and you don't know who they are. So the best way is a hand open. Instead of pointing at people, open the hand. Instead of pointing, open the hand. Your pointing was, it was well within the speech. In other words, it was appropriate. But it's the reason you were using it was appropriate, but the pointing can be a problem. The other thing I'd like to have seen more is moving around this big, beautiful stage we have. The reason why is because it is large. We have a fairly large group tonight. Your speech was highly motivational. That could have been good for walking over here and talking to this side of the room. Proceeding with talking to this side of the room, the middle, and then coming over here and speaking to this group. Even though we are taught in Toastmasters that when we move, we need to move with purpose, that's true. But when you have a big stage like this, you can use the stage for your really honing in on each portion of the meeting, portion of the audience. But I thought you did a great job. And that's kind of, I'm just doing what you told me to do, and that is to find something. I think you did a great job. And so with that, I look forward to hearing your